Ba, 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 ba. Spotify. I was in a hurry. I was like, I gotta hurry. Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone doing? It's a rave. Yeah, actually, my playlist is called Rave Music. Intermission. Everyone go get your snacks. Um, let's see. Brady, I'm good. How are you? Hello, Jose. How are you? It's fine. We can have the cheap porn music, like elevator music. And then I was going to put the camera in front of me, and then I realized how many problems that would cause. Because I thought maybe it would be better if I put the camera in front of me so I'm talking and I'm looking at my screen. And then I just realized that's going to open up the door for more comments and other things that, uh, that I always get anyway. So it doesn't even matter. Whatever. It is what it is. How's everyone doing? Let me exit out of Spotify. Oh, Spotify. I said exit. Hope you're doing well. Sanal, how are you? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. Well, thank you, Miss Ellie. Savannah, good to hear. Oh, so you want to hear some little small town gossip? Let me tell you. So when I was bartending, and this does have to do with crime, let me just pull up the little report. Hold, please. Some of you, I told this in Beer Guts chat earlier. What is this? I don't have Facebook, but I do have Facebook, if that makes sense. So you'll never find me under my name. I have an incognito account. Hello, Andrew. So I have an incognito account specifically because of Facebook Marketplace. And being that I'm up here in the mountains, I'd like to get the road reports for people that travel from here into town so I know what's going on, right? If there's accidents or if the roads are really bad and slippery, since I do have my main job in the city. So it's very important. But I have been trying to get on a better schedule and go to sleep on time. So, like between 10 and 11 is usually the latest. But, anyhow, when I was working the bar on Saturday, again, as you guys know, it's a resort. There's a pool, there's a bar, there's a restaurant, there's the second bar, which is the one I work in. And as I was pouring drinks, I had oh, Brady, don't ever give a chick money. Please don't ever do that. Ever. Don't. So when I was working the bar, this lady came up and she's like, hey, why are all these cops around? Hello, Wander. And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm working. I don't know what's happening outside of my workspace. So the sheriff department posted on our Facebook page. And let me just read it to you with obviously not reading everything because then, you're going to come and visit me and that would be weird. I prefer a heads up. So on January 4th, which was Saturday, the sheriff's office completed a narcotics search warrant at said address. This was the result of an 8-month investigation into the illegal sales of methamphetamines. With the assistance of the USPS, which, as you guys know, maybe some of you don't, that is your mail service, and the sheriff's office and K9 unit, approximately 123.1 grams of methamphetamine, 598.4 grams of marijuana, along with 2.4 grams of heroin were seized during the search warrant service. It gives the names, which I will not tell you their names, of our town, were arrested and booked into the jail for felony trafficking and of methamphetamine and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. So, did you snitch? No, random. I'm not a snitcher. What's crazy is I know these people, and in fact, I actually saw her because it is a man and a woman. I actually saw her at my job because she also works there. She is one of the, because we do have hotels there or motels. It's a motel. And she's like the maid. So she does like the house cleaning. House cleaning. She's the housekeeper. Is that what it is? Housekeeper. Yeah. She does the housekeeping there. And I saw her and she's like, "Hey, Rainy." And I was like, "Hey, so and so." And yeah, it's really sad because if you ever met her, um, you would immediately suspect that she was someone who was on drugs. But because she's been that way for so long, you just have come to know her as that, um, not necessarily something to be too concerned about. Another really, really sad thing about her is she used to be heavy into drugs and she quit for quite some time, drank instead, but she is from California originally. And 4 or 5 years ago, her daughter, oh, this is awful because I don't know what kind of person I would be if this ever happened to me. Her daughter, her and her daughter, of course, lived together up here. And her daughter was with her friend, and they were going down a dirt road down a hill. And the girl that was driving crashed, and her daughter was ejected from the vehicle. And her daughter died on impact, like her head hit a rock. And she was immediately gone. And she was in high school. So I don't want to say, I'm sure she'll use that in her court hearing, but uh, I don't know what kind of person I would be. I don't think I would turn to that stuff. That's for sure. But, I guess we'll never know if we're not in that situation where life could lead you. So, yeah, her daughter was her life. So it was just her and her daughter. But yeah, once her daughter passed, it was rough, and she'd always talk about her daughter. So I can't say I can relate because I can't. I don't have a clue how that would pan out. But it's unfortunate because the dude is trash. The dude has been banned from my place of employment at the bar for a long time. And yeah, so folks, don't do drugs. That's all I'm going to say. And if you are going to do them, don't tell anyone. And if you're going to sell them, definitely try to figure out what to do in that situation. I'm not going to condone any of that, obviously. Carolyn! But yeah, it's a sad situation, but I did look up the laws in Idaho and federal crimes like that, because it is a federal crime, it's trafficking. Something like that as a first offender, it is minimum of 5 years. You made it. I'm so glad. Thank you. 5 years minimum, which is crazy. And I always say, if you guys are going to go to prison, try to go to federal prison if you can. Federal prison or where it's at. You get, this is what I heard. I've never been to prison, I've never been to jail, and I've never been arrested. Federal prison has fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Usually, at least one place that I know of, does not have a fence around like a prison. It's like you're on a vacation without the swimming pool. So that is that. So if you're going to do it, go all out. And yeah, I just condoned doing crime. That's awful. 85% of the time. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, if I ever get in trouble, you better believe it's going to be a federal offense. And it had to do with the Postal Service, which is another federal offense. You cannot ship drugs in the mail, guys. Don't do that. Please don't. I don't know what kind of things they use. I watch a lot of those drug shows where people, like the border crossings, where all the mail and the packages come in and they go through the x-ray. I think the Postal Service has a similar thing going on. I would imagine, ever since 9/11 is my guess, but I don't know. I don't work for the Postal Service, never have. So anyway, we're 14 minutes in. Why is there a stringy woman? Is that illegal? A stringy woman. I don't know what that means. Hello, Cece. I'm well. All right, guys, we got to get this started. What you drinking? Oh, I'm drinking coffee with nothing in it other than creamer. Creamer and a tiny bit of caramel because I have a sweet tooth and it's very bad. Since not drinking that sweet whiskey, my sweet tooth is absolutely horrific. I don't know if anyone else is going through that. I will tell you, I do have my lemon water in my famous Dick's cup. And lemon water is supposed to curb your sweet appetite. And it's a lie. It's a lie. I don't believe it because it's not working. So I'm just drinking coffee. And drinking coffee does not make me energized, nor does it keep me awake. So Super Sally's. Yes. So anyway, that's what I'm drinking. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So if you're new here, just as a heads up, this is current crime. So current event crimes. These are cases that are going on right now, or they are Dick's. Yay! I know. I didn't get this one from Dick's, but Dick's is known for these. So if anyone knows Dick's, tell them I sent you. Anyhow, we talk about unaliving. Yeah, coffee does do that. It's a diuretic. Hello, Tiff. Hello. Soon, fixing my mental health. Unaliving, there is abuse. We do talk about children sometimes. This one, we will talk about children. Not every case is an unaliving, but these are just things that are going on. I love Dick's. Woo! Imagine if you're just in here and you're just creeping in the background and you just screenshot that and you're just like, Miss Rainey, I love Dick's. I really do. I do love Dick's. Sorry. I'm watching the stream with one hand. Ew, you're dirty. Get out. Bye. See you later. Well, too bad. Wayne got you. And I read it out loud. So that was wonderful. Nationwide. Yes, look. I just go to a law and crime website. I look up the most current things and it's a cold read. So I'm reading you an article that I have not read. We are reading it together for the first time. So I didn't practice any of these and that's how it goes. So drop a bruise. Nice. Okay, so this one does not have to do with an unaliving. This is just a thief. So a Florida mom, because we love Florida, has been accused of getting her teenage son to help her rob a man she was sleeping with. Linda Palacio, 39. Oh, I know that last name. No, it's not her. Was arrested Tuesday and charged with felony burglary and grand theft. She also faces misdemeanor charges, including contributing to the delinquency of a minor and resisting arrest. According to an arrest warrant, a local ABC affiliate, Palacio allegedly employed her teenage son to assist her as she broke into her lover's apartment to steal a jar containing $1,300 in cash and a $200 carton of cigarettes. That's insane. I would not be smoking if it was $200. Oh, what is this ad in my face? How did that get there? We're going to try to read around it. According to Miami police, the alleged burglary took place in the city's Little Havana neighborhood. Palacio, along with her son, who was reportedly between the ages of 13 and 15, allegedly forced the door of the apartment open. The warrant stated that the teenage accomplice, whose face was covered by a towel, was caught on a Ring camera, allegedly forcing the door open and allowing his mother inside. Palacio, who was also masked, also allegedly covered up the camera, but not before it caught her showing her son where the jar was. The jar of cash. The victim, who was not named, was described as having an on-again, off-again sexual relationship with Palacio for around 10 years. How are you going to be with someone for 10 years and then just steal from them? You just ask them for a loan or something. According to the arrest warrant, he was the one who pointed the finger at Palacio. Both mother and son were taken into custody on January 7th and questioned by police. While the son provided a statement, it was not made available because he is a minor. He was also not named as the co-defendant along with his mother. When she was questioned, she reportedly raised her voice and became uncooperative when confronted with the Ring video. She is being held at the Turner Night Correctional Center in Miami. Her bond has yet to be set on the burglary charge. $1,300. That's it. Lame. Get a job. Imagine what it would be like if you just got a job. Just saying. Don't try. Do it. What are we doing? Oh, 10 years. 10 years for what? For burglary? Pfft. Yeah. Get a job. Get 2 or 3. Uber Eats. Shoot. Lyft. Do the thing. You could probably just stand on the corner if you needed to. I don't know. There's easier ways to get money than just stealing it. You're kind of getting depressed, Brady. Well, Brady, I'm going to need you to focus on yourself and not worry about these chicks, to be honest with you. $1,300 is a week's worth of work. It's not even that big of a deal. Now, if you were stealing millions, I mean, make it worth it. But $1,300 for someone you've known for 10 years. Like I said, she probably could have just went to him and been like, hey, I'm having a hard time. I need some money. Instead of stealing his jar of cash. Good grief. All right, so this one does have to do, I'm going to go focus on myself. Okay, Brady, I'm sorry. You know how to get a hold of me if you need me, please. But I think it's important you worry about you, and the right person will come along when it's meant to be. Probably drugs. Oh yeah, she looked like drugs and mental health, to be honest with you. This one does have to do with the child. I'd rather stand outside of Home Depot. What, Beck? We don't do that here in Idaho, at least in the big city here. We don't have that happen here, which is too bad because that'd be very helpful. Okay, again, this has to do with the child, just as a heads up. So a North Carolina man was arrested more than a year after the death of his 2-year-old son after police said he was to blame. Aaron Carter, not the Aaron Carter you're thinking of, 27, was charged with involuntary manslaughter and felony child abuse on January 7th, following an investigation into his son River's death on December 2nd, 2023. The sheriff's office said in a Facebook post that Carter left his toddler son alone for over 12 hours in a room that became overheated. When first responders arrived at the scene, the boy was pronounced dead. According to police, deputies and emergency medical personnel responded to a distress call concerning an unresponsive child at an address in West End, a community located around 85 miles east of Charlotte. Details about what ensued at the scene were not made available, except the determination that River was dead upon arrival. Police now allege that Carter was responsible for leaving the toddler isolated for 12 hours in a room where the temperature increased to dangerous levels due to a space heater. This is not the same one as the one that was in the closet, as a heads up, because we did read that one. An investigation was conducted into River's death, and the medical examiner's findings led to his father's arrest on January 7th. Carter faces 2 felony charges, involuntary manslaughter and child abuse inflicting serious bodily injury. The cause of death for the boy was not provided, according to an obituary. He is survived by his sister. Carter was booked into the Moore County Detention Center and held on a $500,000 bond. His court date is scheduled for Thursday. So I actually did a short. What part of North Carolina? Tiff. Let me look. Let me look. Um, it doesn't say 85 miles east of Charlotte. It just says an address in West End, a community located 85 miles east of Charlotte. I'm not familiar with that. If you are familiar with the Moore County Detention Center, that might be, let's just look. Moore Detention Center. Carthage is the closest to Moore County Detention Center. I did do a short on, I think, a mom who ended up doing the same thing. But they put their kid in a closet and put a space heater in there. Ugh, awful. People are awful. Which ties into this. Family should be top priority, especially child. Oh, absolutely. Child comes before anything. Before anything. Period. That child didn't ask to be brought into this world. All right, so next one. Guess where this is at, friends? Florida. A Florida man is accused of killing a jeweler over a $20,000 Rolex watch. He later told police he wanted to give his girlfriend for Christmas. I'm not even going to try to say the last name. Milosevic. It could be Bosnian, and I'm not familiar with how to pronounce those. Nenad is his first name. We're going to call him Nenad. 56 faces a murder charge in the death of Anthony Diamore, 73. The events leading to the discovery of the body happened on December 23rd, when Fort Lauderdale police responded to a jewelry business in a suite off of North Federal Highway about a welfare check on Diamore. The building manager had to pry open the suite for officers to let them in. Inside, police found Diamore dead on the floor. Surveillance video. Guys, there's cameras everywhere. Hello, Charlie and Ashley. Surveillance video showed the victim arriving with a man, later identified as, what did we decide to call him? Nenad. That's right. On December 20th, the document said both men entered the suite, but only Nenad exited the room. He was carrying a small bag and large square items covered in a towel or blanket, took the elevator, and walked out of the building 2 hours and 42 minutes later. An autopsy found Diamore had bruises on his neck, back, and head. Oh, speaking of, I have to tell you guys something else. Later at the police station, Nenad allegedly confessed to the crime. He told police he picked up Diamore from his residence and they had dinner before going to the business. He allegedly said he hoped to get jewelry for his girlfriend for Christmas. Nenad had been paying the victim for a Rolex watch valued at about $20,000. He had given him about $16,000 but had not finished paying him when the deal went bad. He gave him 16 grand already. Nenad was not paying fast enough, so Diamore increased the price. It's not funny because that man didn't deserve that. He also wouldn't give him anything in exchange for the money already paid. Ooh, yeah, I can see how this went sideways. An argument ensued. At one point, Nenad said he struck him in the front of his throat twice. Then he got on top of the victim on the floor and choked him. He said the victim did not defend himself. Well, no shit, he's 70 some odd years old. And did not hit him back while he was hitting and choking him. After strangulating him and choking him, he left him on the floor, according to police. As the victim lay unresponsive, Nenad said he bagged about 20 pieces of jewelry and wrapped a video recorder in a blanket, then took the items and left, driving off in his Dodge Ram pickup. He later allegedly dumped the items off a bridge into the waters below. He's being held without bond. I can tell the time with my Android. That's just dumb. I'm like, you paid $16,000 for a watch. He wasn't paying fast enough. The man's like, too bad, I'm not giving you your money back. And no, we're not exchanging it for any other item in the shop. I don't know. Can I put my ad tag in here? Oh, of course, Charlie. That's not a problem at all. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think murder is the answer, but I'd be a little ticked off if I had invested 16 grand into something and I was not getting something out of it. That's for sure. 16 grand is a lot of money. Oh, I was gonna tell you something. Oh yeah, Charlie, not a problem. I don't know. I'm assuming Charlie, right? Charlie. I hate to say it's Ashley, and then I'm telling you different. So today my daughter called me in tears, and I was just thinking this because of the old person and the store that she works in the mall. She works for Mac, in case anyone is asking. I'm very proud of her for that. But she was working in the mall, and where her booth is, or where the store is, there's the escalators. She calls me bawling, and I'm like, oh my God, she got fired. What is going on? She watched an elderly couple in their 90s topple down the escalator from the top all the way down to the bottom. Which is hard for me because for me, an elderly person is just as hard as a child. And oh man, she was in tears. She's like, there was blood everywhere. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you because that was her trauma for the day. I know, Luck. I know. She said what was really sad is that the guy already had a bandage on his head because he had just had surgery like 2 days before. But they left by ambulance, so she thinks they're okay, but they were talking and speaking and whatnot. So, but yeah, she said there was just blood everywhere. She was very traumatized. She needed to take a break, and yeah, she like ran out. Like she was watching it happen, and she like ran out, and she's like screaming, "Hit the emergency button!" Yeah, poor thing. Which there was another store on the opposite side. So it's, the malls, got the big corridor in the middle where the escalators are, and she's over here, the other shop's over here, and that shop was closer to that one. So they hit the emergency, but it was bad. She's like, I had to give a police report and everything. And yeah, anyway, so that happened. Do the ghostwriter. I know, Wetback. I know. There's so many I need to do. And I've not been feeling YouTube lately, to be honest with you. Okay, moving on. Yeah, Wayne. That's it. That's it. So, did they make it? Yeah, Jeremiah. They left in an ambulance. So I think hopefully everything is okay. So, I guess people were everywhere though. Like people just came rushing. So, what's really sad is a few years back, in that exact same spot, a security officer was gunned down in that same location. So, it just so happens my daughter works right there. Hello, Mike. Okay, here we are in Arkansas. This one, it is about a child, but the child, I believe, is older, considering he is older. So, a 73-year-old man in Arkansas father faces charges in the death of his blind and disabled adopted daughter, who was found dead with cockroach bites in a soiled diaper in a filthy home. David Witten faces a charge of neglect, homicide, and endangering the welfare of an incompetent person in the death of his daughter, Katrina Witten, who was 29. Arkansas. It's Arkansas, Jeremiah. She was discovered dead on Friday at the home in Lowell, more than 200 miles northwest of Little Rock. The initial reaction is just like it's getting very dark in here. Ooh, it's very bright. The initial reaction is just like anybody else. It's one of sadness. You just kind of shock. You hate to see people living in poor conditions. You hate to see somebody that loses their life, especially at a young age. Police and firefighters made the discovery while responding to a medical call, according to a press release. The affidavit of probable cause outlines the allegations. It started when police responded to the home for a death investigation. Police found 5 other disabled adults living in the home, all adopted by David. The children were deemed incompetent, and the defendant was their primary caregiver. While there, police said one of the adult children was walking around in an adult diaper that appeared to be full of feces. On the floor, police saw adult diapers full of feces, trash and dog feces. Cockroaches could be seen throughout the house. Part of the house was flooded with only one working toilet. Dirty dishes with mold were found in the kitchen. In a bedroom, police found Katrina's body in a blue shirt and wearing an adult diaper on a bed. Her legs pointed towards the wall. The body's position appeared to suggest it had been staged, the document said. Police requested a rape kit to be performed due to another bedroom being found only with a bed, a dress, and blood on the wall, according to the affidavit. I don't like reading these sometimes. Dried brown fluids covered the bed, the box spring, and the walls. Medical examiners determined Katrina was malnourished and had bites from cockroaches on her head and an abrasion on her forehead. David allegedly told police that his daughter had been healthy for a long time and didn't take any medications. But on Christmas Day, he allegedly told police she sunk to the floor and wouldn't move. He allegedly said he had gone through this phase with her several times where she didn't want to eat much and would lose weight. He said he would get double calorie and double protein boosts and give it to her. Usually she recovered. He said that for about a week she had been feeling better. He said she was walking across the room, but then she stopped. He said he put her in bed and that she usually pushed herself up out of bed with her elbow, but in the days before she was found dead, she wouldn't get up. He said the night before she was, I hate whoever writes this. She said the night before she was found dead, he checked her, picked her up, gave her some milk, and she made some noises. He said he sat her down on the bed. He said in the morning when he went to check on her, he could not detect any breath and called 911. Get some new journalists. Just saying. The defendant's other adult children were hospitalized at the request of Adult Protective Services, but they were later medically cleared. He has been booked in the Benton County Jail and released on a $25,000 bond. How crazy. Sorry, I don't know who wrote that, but it's awful. It's like, he said. Just say all the things that he said in one sentence. It's simple. Okay, guys, moving on. Hello, Red. Red, don't forget to come in the house and get your packages, please, and thank you. They're on the table. Oh, we're moving up a little bit, guys. We're in a different state. I'm very proud of us. A Pennsylvania man is behind bars after he allegedly killed his bedridden and oxygen machine dependent mother. Back to Georgia. Nope, we're in Pennsylvania. Court records show prosecutors last week charged 40-year-old Chad Walburn with first-degree murder in the October death of his mother, Phyllis Walburn, who was 63. The elder Walburn died at an Erie hospital on October 31st after many years of health issues, but cops deemed her death a murder. According to a probable cause arrest affidavit obtained by the Erie Times. Did I read this already? Why do I feel like I have? The Erie Police Department responded to a call about a man who refused to leave a home on October 23rd. When officers arrived, they found the unwelcome guest, Chad Walburn, inside his mother's home. I feel like we did. Cops reportedly found her unconscious and soaking wet in her bed. She had discoloration on her neck, and it appeared someone had taken her oxygen tube off of her nose. The machine was turned off and unplugged. Chad Walburn allegedly admitted to taking his mom's oxygen tube away from her, turning it off, and pulling the plug. He then poured a large amount of water on her from several containers, including a small garbage can. They asked why he did such a thing, and Chad allegedly said his mother needed to die. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital where she died 8 days later. They classified her death as a homicide. Walburn was charged with aggravated assault in the days after the incident, but after further investigation, the coroner determined the cause of death was respiratory failure due to the intentional withdrawal of oxygen. He was arraigned on the murder charge on Friday. He remains in the Erie County Prison without bond. Caleb, the victim, actually had them. I don't know what that was a thing. What? What's a thing? Cockroach bites? Ooh, is that like bed bugs? I mean, I know what cockroaches are. I've never seen a cockroach in real life. Never have I ever. I've seen them on videos. I've seen them on the TV, but I've never personally seen one myself. I obviously bed bugs are different, but when you are asking about bites, like, is it common for them to bite you? I saw one while I was laying on the floor of my gym. Ew! I'm sorry, Gretchen. That's awful. Ooh. Okay, this one might be a little graphic. They fly. Oh my gosh. Okay. I did take a picture when I was at the bar. I'm laughing at everything. I don't know why. I did take a picture of what looked like a ginormous cockroach. It was like literally this big. It was like the size of a Twinkie. Not that thick, but like that size. And I believe they're called tree beetles, tree bugs. Ooh, ginormous. It was huge. Biggest thing I ever saw. I was working the bar, I was closing down, and I felt something bite me under my arm. And I was like, ew, what is that? And I went like this, and it stuck to my arm, and it was the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life. And I about died. I'm not a bug fan, but spiders, I hate spiders. Those kind of bugs are fine, but it's so big. How do you step on it? You can't just step on it. You can't. It's as big as your shoe. Good evening. Well, hello, Shane. It literally, oh, and the sound it would make? No, I'm okay. So anyway, I put it in a cup. I tried to shimmy it into a cup and get it out the door. Hello, Jack. So that was my experience with one of those, but I cannot imagine cockroaches. I've never seen one. I thought a cockroach, honestly, before I saw them on YouTube, I honestly thought they were like beetles. That's how I pictured them in my mind, like beetles with antennas, that size, like that big. And I'm sure they can get that big, but they swim. Ugh. Hi, Lopez. How are you? I did not know that they swam. I am in an area where we don't have cockroaches. At least here we don't. Thank goodness. June bugs suck. That's why I wear a helmet. Oh, yeah. Anyhow, okay, let me keep moving on. I think that, yes, 30 minutes. 30 minutes before the podcast starts, so I need to hustle. Okay, this one might be a little graphic just by me looking at the title. So just as a heads up, so a cockroach would be like a bed bug because bed bugs can withstand temperatures of like 100 and something, like 160 degrees, and they can go dormant in the cold. No, thank you. Anyway, all right. A South Dakota man faces charges after his girlfriend's decapitated body was found inside her apartment and her head was found in a trash bag a day after she messaged a friend that her boyfriend had threatened her with a weapon. Craig Nicholas, who is 32, faces second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter in the death of Heather Ann Bodden, 41. The grisly discovery was made on Thursday after friends of the victim had gone to check on her at her apartment on Memory Lane in Yankton, about 80 miles west of Sioux Falls, and found her decapitated body. Inside, police found what appeared to be a deceased headless person. One of the victim's friends told cops she had received a text message from the victim a day earlier saying her boyfriend, who she identified as the suspect, had threatened her with a weapon and she hadn't heard from her in over 24 hours. Video footage of the exterior of the apartment complex showed two males arriving at the apartment at 9:59 p.m. the night before the victim was found. The men told investigators they had been in the apartment doing drugs with the suspect and the victim, who was alive when they left at 11:02 on Wednesday. Further surveillance video showed Nicholas leaving and returning to the apartment multiple times between 2:50 a.m. and 6:44 a.m. He was arrested at his apartment where he had barricaded himself inside. A search of his apartment turned up wet shoes with reddish-brown substance on them. At Bodden's apartment, police found her head in a trash bag that was the color of a bag similar to the one seen in surveillance footage. A plastic grocery bag was also found with bloody male clothing, the document. Who the hell leaves their clothing there? A label found on the underwear in the plastic grocery bag read, in part, Craig! Craig wrote his name on his underwear! Oh my God. Police also found 3 weapons wrapped in a floor mat in a trap. Why are we writing our name on our underwear? This is prison underwear, is my guess. I'm sorry. What grown adult writes their name on their underwear? It's prison underwear. That's the only thing I can say. I'm sticking to that, because if you are a grown ass adult and writing your name on your underwear, we have problems. I'm just saying. Police found 3 weapons wrapped in a floor mat in a trash bag close to the bag containing Bodden's head. Nicholas asked a lawyer and declined to provide a urine sample, saying he wished to go to sleep. Bodden leaves behind a 12-year-old daughter, and a GoFundMe page was set up. Nicholas is being held in the Yankton County Jail with bail set at $500,000. He is set to appear in court today. I'd like to experiment now. Hello. I did the military. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I think of prison. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. I totally forgot about that, Red. My apologies. When you work off, so you work anything, you need to do stuff like that. Anyway, that dumbass left his bloody clothes there. Obviously, there were cameras, and his name was on the underwear. Good grief. I'm telling you, they're getting dumber and dumber. I mean, I'm glad he was caught, and that's awful. That's awful. I'm curious where the 12-year-old was, because that's sad. But he looks like a real fucking winner. All right, moving on. Rainey, you should write your name in yours so you don't mix them up with fools. Oh, what a sight to see that would be. Oh my, oh my. I'm going to tell him you said that, Carolyn. That was awesome. Thanks. I needed that. They have a show that comes on TV called America's Dumbest Criminals. Yeah, I know, Mike. That's Dumbest Criminals. That's one thing, but with the murder thing, hello, Subi. What a unique story. Okay, moving on. All right, Wisconsin, friends. Wait, who, you or fools? I'm gonna tell fools. I'm gonna tell fools about it, and then I'm gonna tell them the visual I got in my mind about seeing him in my underwear, because that's where my mind went. I was just like, huh, that'd be interesting to see. Can't women get pregnant if they wear men's undies? What? What is happening in this chat? Woo! Okay, we're going to Wisconsin, friends. Maybe the Wisconsin folks have heard this one. Oof. Okay. A Wisconsin woman who struck her husband with her truck while driving drunk and dragged his body across the road entered a plea of guilty to a lesser charge. Red. I don't like that image. Mary Jane Terry, 50, was originally charged with first-degree intentional homicide after police accused her of killing her husband, Donald Britton, when she hit him with her truck on October 19th, 2023. According to the criminal complaint, a neighbor heard a prolonged thud outside his window that night after brake lights glared into his home. After that thud, he told police that he heard a do 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 sound. Okay. That turned out to be the sound of Britton's body being dragged by a truck driven by Terry. He was found laying dead in the street. When police arrived at the scene, they were able to identify Britton since he had known both Britton and Terry for over 20 years. Terry was standing by her now late husband's body upon Stanley's arrival. Stanley! Woo! She reportedly asked the officer several times, Billy, is he dead? Stanley attempted to perform CPR on Britton, but noticed no signs that he was still alive. When Stanley asked Terry if Britton had been hit by a truck, she said yes. But when asked who was driving the truck, she said, I don't know. He had my truck. After Terry finally acknowledged that she had driven the truck at one point to retrieve her phone from her home, she denied that she was the one who struck her husband. Another deputy also noticed, according to the report, that Terry smelled like alcohol. A field sobriety test was conducted on Terry, including a breath test. Terry blew a .298, almost 4 times the legal limit of .08. After a swing by the hospital for a blood draw, Terry was taken to the Forest County Jail and booked. As Terry's story about the incident kept changing, suspicion about her role in the fatal collision grew. Evidence against Terry piled up, and the bar owner was charged with first-degree intentional homicide and homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. Oof, that's rough. In court on January 6th, Terry pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. As part of the plea agreement, the first-degree intentional homicide charge was dropped. She is due to be sentenced on May 16th, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know that. I'm sure most of you adults do know that. Myself as a bartender, it is my job to, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, it makes sense, but if something happened to you after I served you, meaning if you were so intoxicated, you got in your vehicle and drove away and hurt yourself or killed someone or you killed yourself, the bartender can absolutely go to jail with you for homicide. I don't know if you know that. That is here in the state of Idaho. So that's a thing. That is a thing. So if you weren't aware, now you know. So if your bartender cuts you off, don't give them a hard time. There's a reason why they do that. One, you're probably obnoxious and a shit show. And the second reason is because they don't want to go to jail with you. So. Forest County is Tomahawk. Never mind, I was thinking what country. That's wild. Wow, that's wild. I was always wondering that. Yeah, Charlie, that is the case. Charlie, did you post your thing? I'm an asshole. Charlie, you didn't post your at tag. Okay, Charlie, you didn't post your at tag. I was supposed to pin it and you didn't do it. Okay, so how much time do we have left? We got a few more minutes. Love you so much. Oh. Okay, this is a YouTuber. So remember, not all YouTubers are what you see on the internet. Oh my gosh, my eyes. I want you to know looking at a computer all day is rough. A YouTube star from guess where? Nope. Not Florida. Texas. Is facing aggravated kidnapping charges for abducting 2 women and taking them on a wild high-speed car ride on Interstate 10, during which he threatened the victims with a gun and began praying with them before dumping the pair off on the shoulder and telling them, "This is your only opportunity." I was going to say Louisiana. Nope, not Idaho. I told you my Idaho story about the drug bust in town. Corey Pritchett, 26, of Houston, is accused of fleeing to Qatar after the alleged kidnapping incident, which unfolded on November 24th. The victims were found by deputies with the Waller County Sheriff's Office near a way station off of I-10 in the Brookshire area after a local resident saw the woman on the side of the road and called 911. Pritchett has, why does this ad keep popping up in my grill? It's getting in my way. I've got something important to tell the people. I can't get out of it. Pritchett, who has over 5 million subscribers across his 2 YouTube channels. One is for personal videos, and I can't give you his at tag because the ad is in my face. Oh, shit. Okay. And it's at Corey SSG31 if you want to look him up. And another for family posts with his wife and 2 children at Pritchett Family, allegedly dumped the pair there after meeting them at a Houston area gym earlier in the day to work out. What the fuck is he meeting women for if he's married? They also went on an ATV outing together with some friends of his and spent time at a local bowling alley. The complaints cited that the defendant and his friends began to act suspiciously by constantly looking around and learned that they had an issue with another group that was at the bowling alley. Pritchett left the bowling alley for a lengthy amount of time, and the women allegedly rode with a friend of his to go meet him to retrieve some belongings that they left in Pritchett's car. After meeting up with them at a local supermarket, Pritchett offered to give the women a ride, but something was allegedly off with them. They stated by this point they noticed that there was a complete change in behavior in the defendant, where he was not the same person he was earlier that day. The defendant then explains to both of the females that he believes someone is after him, and he is accused of setting someone's car on fire. Instead of taking the women home, he allegedly drove in the opposite direction, got on I-10, going westbound towards San Antonio. He was said to be driving at a high rate of speed. Both women felt he was easily going 100 miles an hour. He pulled out a gold color handgun. So a gold gun. Nice. That's what happens when you have 5 million subscribers, friends. Post the video because you could also buy a gold gun. While driving from the center console, and began waving it out of the sunroof of the vehicle and firing it. Both women state they had tried to calm the defendant by telling him to pray together, in which he agrees to do so and leads the prayer, but continues to drive westbound I-10 at a big high rate of speed. He allegedly called a female friend while driving with the contact name future wife using video chat, and he claimed he was interested in killing the pair and dumping their bodies. Both women stated that the defendant then asked the female caller if he had the perfect opportunity and he was driving in the middle of nowhere and no one could hear them scream and no one would ever find them, so he should just go ahead and do it. Both women stated that the unknown female responded with a yes. Both women stated they knew at this point the defendant was going to take them in the middle of nowhere and kill them. Seeing that he also had a handgun in his possession, they both feared for their lives. He said, "I'm going to fuck y'all and then kill you," before changing his mind and letting them go. He was allegedly on I-10 traveling east towards Houston when he dropped the women off on the shoulder. On YouTube, Pritchett is known for posting comedy videos, music, and lifestyle vlogs with his family. He has been very vocal about his current situation and charges since being arrested last week, posting across social media about it. Letter to the internet. It's finna be a ball, Pritchett wrote in a January 4th Instagram post. You see it say accused, right? Don't worry. LOL. I'm finna give the details on here and in the court of law. They gon' regret fucking with me like I'm just some goofy. Oh, and I got the best lawyer in Houston. So we on they ass. 5 million subscribers, friends. 5 million. That's what happens. In a January 5th Instagram post, Pritchett said, United States, I'm on the way. I have a meeting with Houston. On Monday, he wrote, see y'all when I get out. Crazy. Everybody wants to see me behind bars for accusations I didn't do. I know God got me. Love all my supporters. They can't keep me down. So if you'd like to see this person, this will be I think this is my last video. Yeah, that's my last one. Corey, Corey, SSG31. That is him. Corey, Corey, SSG31. If you want to see what I'm talking about. Great vocabulary that man has. Yeah. Go figure. So that is that. And we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. We're just a little over an hour. So, my eyes are burning. Man, the computer is really killing me. I've really got to figure out some better lighting or something because doing work on the computer is killing my eyes. Looks like I smoked, but I don't smoke, so. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. So I do appreciate everyone stopping in and saying hello and listening to the story. Now I do want to look him up myself just for fun. Imagine being someone on YouTube thinking that just because Corey SSG31 4 million subscribers almost. JFK, I'm gonna let you just, we're not gonna be racist here. Your skin is so glowy. Oh, thanks. Is it super glowy? Look at my eyes. I'm telling you, this computer kills me. Wow, he had a $10,000 apartment in Dubai. Shocker. I thought he was smart. I'm like, just imagine being a person like that on the internet, and that's the shit that you do. That's what you do. That's what you do with your fame. That is who you end up being. Hi, Phoenix. Good to see you. Well, I just fucked up. Yeah, he was fucked up before I got on crime. I wouldn't be surprised. It is that time of evening. I'll turn it this way so I can see a little bit better. Scumbags. Oh, I know, devil. It's like, I always feel like if in situations like this, well, really it's any of them, right? If you're in a role in which people are looking up to you and people are looking to you either for support or, some wisdom or I don't know, showing off their cars. Like I'm like this video is like playing, showing off their cars. I see a Charger. It's probably a Hellcat. You know, that's how they roll. I think a Corvette, a Challenger. Like, just what's the, like, here's what I have. That's so dumb. Don't get me wrong. I know you can see mine in the shop. That's different. That's where it's parked. So it's not the same thing of like, this is what I have. You probably made all this money from YouTube is my guess. So live in the middle. Maybe then I'd live in the middle of nowhere. I'd move. Oh, Wayne, what happened? Wayne didn't like your comment, JFK. Anyway, guys, I know the podcast is coming up. Basically, a child in a grown man's body. Yeah, Luck, I just wonder. It's interesting how society deems who should be internet famous and who shouldn't. It's sad how our society looks at things. And like the first thing that comes to mind is, and I was actually talking to Red about this just the other night when we were in the shop, the Hawk Tua girl. She said one thing. She made a comment and had all this sponsorship, merch, freaking crypto coin named, like, what? What are we doing as a society? I mean, exactly, Jack. Like, I understand, you're having a good time, and that's, an age where you're having it fun and doing the thing, but like, she's famous for that. That's what she's famous for. I would never want to be famous for that. The whole crypto thing was a scam. Yeah. Crow, how are you? It's a phase, not a lifestyle. Well, exactly, Carolyn. There's that one girl. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, and I was telling Rod this as well. She came out right around the same time that the Catch Me Outside girl came out. She's kind of similar with that shitty attitude of just like, I'm going to say it, ghetto. Come at me. I'm not trying to be an asshole. But she went to like Nigeria or Nicaragua, one of those countries, and she faked a kidnapping. Just to get like her name in the spotlight again. Vicky. Yes, breadsticks. Vicky. Fucking Vicky. Like, what are we doing? You faked a kidnapping? No, Kim K is famous for her sex tape, Jeremiah. You gotta rewind in time. Her mother is a pimp, and her mother released her sex tape to make them famous. Because daddy was no longer in the picture. I'm like, you gotta rewind. Manager mommy Chris, put her daughter's sex tape on the internet for fame. Her mother is a pimp. What mother would go, you know what? Let's release your sex tape so we can become famous. Who does that? But that's a whole nother thing. I don't live that lifestyle. I cannot relate by any means. So that's how look, she was like what? Paris Hilton's little sidekick. She was like the little assistant, the errands girl. Her dad was part of the lawyer team, the freaking Glorious Five or whatever for OJ, who killed his wife. Tell me differently. One who was sexually fucked up. Yeah. And Chloe isn't theirs. Just saying. Chloe does not belong. Tell me I'm wrong. I didn't expect to get on this tangent. Chloe does not belong. I don't care what anyone says. The Cash Me Outside girl was... Yes, Rick. And you know what? She's grown up. And not that that's a good thing to be known as, but that girl has gone through cancer. I don't know if she has a child now, but she was pregnant. She was dating this guy and Travis Barker. So Kourtney Kardashian's new husband, his daughter, Alabama, like, oh God, I don't ever want to be a part of that scene. The glove didn't fit. Her own daughter. What if the dad did it? He'd be exactly, Wayne. Hello, cowboy. Um, Apparently Alabama barkers like making these videos like, I stole your man. Y'all are trashy. Really? Like, you're proud of that? You're proud of that. Have you seen the dude? Catch me outside, girl. Does she still do that, Queen? You know, by the way, there is an only, I was looking in these articles, there's an OnlyFans chick who is very successful. She's actually a correctional officer, and she just went to prison for screwing inmates and recording it. Good times. Miss Queen might have to research that. Later, everyone. Bye, devil. Anyway, guys, how about that? I should get off of here. That podcast starts in 4 minutes, so oh my gosh. Yeah, she's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but yeah, she is a correctional officer, and I guarantee you, part of me feels like she went into that profession specifically knowing what she was going to do. I could be wrong, but I've been behind prison walls in those visiting rooms. No woman CEO looks that way. Okay, my bad. Oh, who told you to leave? Hi. Hello, Liam. No woman looks like that going to work. Ain't a thing. Come on. She knew. Of course she knew. Of course she knew. And the worst part is all these fucking celebrities or wannabes who are all getting surgery, it's like they're all like Kim Kardashian knockoffs. You know what I mean? The long black hair with the part in the middle like mine. Like the same physique. Like, God, y'all fucking just, can't you just be yourself? My neighbors should be on OnlyFans just to piss them off. She wanted the D. By all of them, Miss Queen. And the best part is the judge, when he sentenced her, he was like, it was only 4.5 minutes. It was awesome. He like completely just like told her what he thought. Just saying, I'm sorry I was late. It's okay, Phoenix. I know you have other responsibilities, so that's why Gaga is cool. She goofy, but low-key a pretty good actress. Crow, I've been hearing some funny things about Miss Gaga, but I'll just leave that for somebody else because it's not my business. But anyway, I love you guys. You are amazing. I appreciate you all for coming in here. But I'm going to cut this off because we're a little past an hour. They tied the guy on a leash and walked him like a dog in jail. Which one? So much happens behind those prison walls that we don't know about. Bye. Worst 4.5 minutes of her life. I don't think so, cowboy. She recorded it. I'm sure she was putting it on her OnlyFans page and people were watching. And I think there was more than one guy. Just saying. But still, 4.5 minutes between two. You know. Okay, she weird, but everyone knew. That's true. She is a little strange. She is off. She is. You missed a lot, damn it. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye from CA. Bye, Luck. Hopefully you're safe over there. If you're in California, I hope that you're safe and not in the areas being affected by all those fires. Is it CA, California, or Canada? No, I don't know. Always good to see y'all. Yes, later from the tattooed dude. Bye, Subi. I just got here. Saltwater, we're leaving. Everybody's leaving. There's a podcast starting. I'm far from the fire, luckily. No pun intended. Nice, Luck. That's good to hear. Stay safe. Everyone stay safe. Have a good night. Sober Sally's unite. I've got my coffee. I will see you maybe in the podcast, maybe in Wyatt's live. I think Beer Gut also went live. So we have a lot of people to choose from. So I appreciate all of you, and I will probably see you tomorrow. Mr. Fool should be here tomorrow. That's the plan, at least. So Very exciting. Okay, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye. See ya.